Hi guys, welcome back. So I want to talk about the changes England might make to their World Cup training squad in weeks 2 and 3 as the players from Leicester and Northampton return to availability. It's going to be a couple of weeks before the players from Sale and Saracens become available, so it's going to be quite a reshuffle going on. Squeaky bum time for those in camp. Certainly keep you on your toes. Now, of course, there's no strict limit to the number they can have in these training squads until they slim down to the final 33-man official World Cup squad. So with the addition of these Leicester and Northampton players on Monday, how would I reshuffle the squad? Well, I'm going to say I'm going to have a squad of 38 players, and this is how I would do it. So into the Loosehead, and I don't think there's competition from Leicester and Northampton there. So Marla, Genjabano and Rapava Ruskin can carry on. Obviously, it's going to be slimmed down to probably 3 of those come the World Cup, but the addition of Urbano and Rapava Ruskin are the ones I wanted to see, and it really strengthens England's squad, even though they don't have much experience. It'll be interesting to see what Borthwick does when it comes to actually chop some of those guys down. Does he include Mako and drop one? I hope not. On to hooker, and again, I don't think there's competition there. Maybe Nick Dolly, you could say, but I'd carry on with those 3 until Luke Cowan-Dickie is fit again, and Jamie George probably comes back in as well, but those guys get some more reps, so good chance for them to impress. On to Tighthead, and I think we get some additions. Sinclair and Stewart definitely stay. Hayes is close, but I wouldn't add him from Leicester. I would add Dan Cole from Leicester and Trevor Davison from Northampton as well, especially because Davison is a little bit versatile. That can be useful. So those 4 go. So we've got 4 props, Loosehead, and 4 props from the Tighthead and 3 hookers. So I think that's a good mix. On to the second row, and many of you were saying, why is Charlie Ewells in there? It's unfair, I guess, because it's not his fault he's picked, but it's not really on merit. But coaches do like him, but I think he would drop out for me. From Northampton, Alex Moon maybe is close, but not quite. So I'd take George Martin of Leicester and Dave Ribbons as additions, and Chesham would be there rehabbing, of course. So 2 second rows in Martin and Ribbons. Onto the back row, and there's plenty of competition, of course, in the back row. I think Laws and Ludlam are the 2 guys that definitely come in. Does anyone drop out? Well, not yet, I don't think. Maybe Ted Hill is the closest to dropping out, but I think they're such good players, it's worth looking at them for a much longer time. So I think 7 is okay to carry on. And in that mix, you could say there's 2 6s, 2 7s, 2 8s, and maybe like Ludlam or Pearson who covers multiple positions. So it's a good mix as well. So I wouldn't drop anyone at this point. Scrum half-wise, I think Mitchell and Van Portfleet come into the mix. I don't think we've seen quite enough of Harry Randall, so I think he drops out, and I wouldn't add Ben Youngs either, although I expect he probably would be. So there'll be 4 scrum halves, which is a few, but I think they're worth sticking with. Staying with Danny Kerr because he has been so good this season. Mitchell, Spencer and Van Portfleet are very happy with those 4. At fly half, Marcus Smith has been the only fly half. I think you need an extra one in there really to help the training so they can go against each other at least. So Finn Smith comes in, who's an outside shout for the World Cup, but possibly one for the future. Charlie Atkinson of Leicester could be one as well. They have a look at, but again, I think he's for the future. So the 2 Smiths in there at fly half. In the centres, and I think we do drop Will Joseph at this stage because he hasn't really done anything this year to justify it, although in the future, I'm sure he's going to be very good. Other guys may be close, a Guy Porter of Leicester or Fraser Dingwall of Northampton, but not quite for me. So I'd just add Dan Kelly. So it would be Kelly, Lawrence, Marchant and Slade. I think that's a good mix there at centre. So you've got Kelly and Lawrence who can play 12, Marchant and Slade 13. So it's a pretty good mix. Lawrence can play 13 as well. Back 3 wise, I think I would drop Johnny May. I just don't think he's got the pace anymore. As much as I love him, as much as he's been great for England, I just don't see it anymore. Maybe Furbank you could add, but I don't think so. So the ones I'd be adding would be Freddie Stewart of Leicester, Anthony Watson of Leicester and Tommy Freeman of Northampton, meaning you'd have 7 back 3, which I think is manageable. I'd keep Big Joe Thokanasiga in there because he is worth looking at. He is a big weapon there. So Arundel, Thokanasiga, Hassel Collins, Murley, who I definitely like. I would like to see Murley in that World Cup squad. He can go in and around the ruck as well. He's quite strong. He's very quick. So like many people say, he's a bit like a Jack now, but a bit quicker at the moment. So Murley in, Stewart, Watson and Freeman is worth looking at. Very versatile. Could be one for the future, but I'd have a look at him for sure. So that is my squad, 38-man squad. Let me know if that's the way you would go. All the comments below, and I'll catch you next time.